Hi, this is Jeannie Ortega with Breathecast, and you're watching BC Pulse. Today, we're on location at Rockin' Studios in Brooklyn, New York, with the one, the only, Lecrae. He has so many amazing things going on right now. He has literally pioneered his way into the mainstream industry with the gospel of Jesus Christ, and for that, I am so grateful. I'm honored to have him as our guest. He has an album dropping September 9th, Anomaly, and we're just so grateful to have you, Lecrae.
Grateful to be here.
I just want to find out more about the record and just what's going on, and you and BK. So we're just privileged to have you.
Indeed.
The new single, Nothing, is that how you say it? Nothing?
Nothing. However you know, depends on what part of the map you live on. So
that's interesting.
There you go.
You're making a statement, you know, and it's very open. You're not making any bones about it. It is what it is. You're basically talking to those. Is it the hip hop culture or just in culture, media? And you're saying the message is really saying nothing. Yeah. So my question is, what should we be saying? What should they be saying?
Well, I just think that, you know, we're really limited in terms of what we are articulating in our music, and you know, as humanity alone, we've built pyramids. I mean, we're sitting in New York City, skyscrapers everywhere, so you can't tell me, you know, we're not a gifted, creative, you know, innovative people. And I think the redundant messages of, you know, drugs and misogyny and so on, you know, do a disservice to just us being, you know, made in God's image and who we are. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, come on, let's talk about something substantial. Substantial.
And you know what? I must say that about you. That's what sets you apart from your peers, and I honestly believe that is what has paved that way for you to be on the same level with people that are talking about these things that mean nothing. You know, the transparency in your music and the fact that you're talking about real life issues. I really feel like it's spearheaded you into that culture. Now, question: what exactly do you do to? Is it something that you put before the Lord to open those doors for you, or what do you think it is that's just giving you such a platform to spread the message and really to be yourself?
Yeah, I think you said it. It's just being yourself. I think people connect with authenticity. You know, it's not about trying to. It's really about trying to know people and enjoy, you know, your time with them and walk with them instead of talking at them and screaming at them and telling them, you know, you know what I mean? So it's just like people want to know that you care about them, and that you are interested in the things that they may be interested in. And I think that makes all the difference in the world.
And what's the line for you? Because, you know, I heard a pastor say one time, you know, so you talk, so sometimes, you know, you're fellowshipping and you're talking to them because you want them to kind of know the message. But then after a while, if nothing is changing, then chances are you might be the one that's changing and being influenced by them. What's the line for Lecrae?
I think everyone has to know themselves. You know, I look at it as trying to be a thermostat versus a thermometer. You know, a thermometer changes temperature wherever it goes, but a thermostat controls the temperature. And so where I'm at, you know, I'm not like, I'm controlling the temperature, I'm controlling the environment, I'm not getting involved in things that I don't feel like I need to be getting involved in. And some of that just comes from maturity, some of that comes from being a grown man and just saying, listen, man, I have way too much at stake to, you know, be frivolous and do silly things. So, but I think what I would say to anybody else is, man, you got to have people around you, community, friends, family, so on and so forth, to just keep you holding on to what, you know, your values and you know, your morals when you're involved in different situations.
Now let's talk a little bit more about the record, because even Anomaly is making the statement that you're different, you know. It's just, and you'd have no problem with that.
Right.
I think that's the whole, you know, 116 Unashamed thing as well. What in the record would you say is your kind of, what would say, I mean, I know it's the worst, but like if there's a song in the record, it's the worst to choose, but if there's a song in the record that kind of you feel like really just you poured yourself completely into, what would that song be?
I mean, it's a lot of the album. You know, it's a toss-up probably between Fear and Good, Bad, Ugly. Fear is me just articulating the regular everyday fears that I have, the insecurities that I wrestle through, which a lot of people don't like to talk about. And then you got an album, a record like Good, Bad, Ugly, where I'm actually talking about some real life situations that happened to me that most people would be embarrassed or try to cover up. And I'm just putting it out there. I think leaders lead in vulnerability, and if I'm vulnerable, then people can be, healed through my healing process.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You're a Grammy Award winner. I mean,
I am?
Grammy? Yeah, man.
Somebody should have told me. I didn't even know
You've
that.
achieved incredible things, and then just being embraced the way you are. I mean, I don't know, but I heard from a little birdie that your song right now is just doing incredible, and it's about to be top 40, period, and the album might be top, hip hop album overall.
Yeah.
What do you do to? I know you're so humble, and you ain't even trying to receive that. But
Yeah.
what do you do to just keep yourself leveled and just focused on the call and then the mission that you have?
Yes, it's almost kind of like asking a chef, like, how do you keep the food warm? You know what I mean? But that's what he does. You know what I mean? So that's just a part of, his daily pursuit. And for me, humility is a daily pursuit. It's something that I'm chasing after consistently. So it's not like I got to figure out a way, oh shoot, I got to figure out how to turn on my humility button.
Yeah.
It's more so like,
You're constantly.
I got to chase it, wake up every morning and go after it, because
That's important.
it's not going, I'm not going to just, you don't wake up and drift into humility. You drift into selfishness and arrogance. So if you're not intentional about pursuing it, you'll find yourself wrapped up in yourself.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this day and age we're living, and I saw you posted a picture the other day basically telling prayer warriors, like, if you pray, now's the time to be praying. There's stuff happening all over the world that's just incredible. I mean, it looks like stuff you see in the movies.
Yeah.
As just you're wise, you're young, you're successful. As a man in America, what kind of advice or anything that you can offer to those people right now in Ferguson or something like that, that are angry and struggling with trying to cope with what's happening and not act out? What advice could you offer? I mean, you have a level head. And
I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot, that I wouldn't even be able to cover in a single conversation. But I think simplified, it would be, man, listen to the leaders in your community who are calm and level-headed and have seen an actual civil rights movement, have seen wars and have survived wars and different tragedies, and listen to them, because they've come out on the other side and have wisdom to offer. And then I would tell other people just be preventative. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm making my album Anomaly. That's why I'm going on tour, bringing this message of hope and reconciliation, because it's preventative measures. It's helping people to wrestle through things and bringing hope. Like, go to the prisons, go to the detention centers, go to the communities and be present and love people and give your time, give your talents, give your treasure, and you prevent a lot of these issues that we see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I see a shift happening in the culture. I mean, being from New York is different than being in the South, in the Bible Belt and stuff like that. I really feel like there's totally a shift happening in the culture. I must say, I honestly believe that you were very instrumental in just stirring up the culture shift in the Christian community. Just to reach out and go out into the world and talk to the misfits, talk to the people that, they'll never even think about going to church.
Right.
And I see that happening in New York City, and I know you've seen it happen. I mean, you went guerrilla style with everything, and look where you are now, and
Beat
just
up.
the successes. Beat up. You tired now? No, you're not. You got an incredible project coming up and all that. What do you think? Just the movement that's happening throughout the younger generation in Christianity. What do you think that says for the culture, the Christian culture that's in America or the world?
You gotta, I think it says, like, people have to embrace their uniqueness. You gotta own your identity. You gotta say, I'm an anomaly. I'm a deviation from the norm. I am who I am, and I'm fine with that. And that's from like from me, older brother, that's what this project is about. It's about encouraging younger brothers and sisters to say, listen, like I've already traveled some of these roads, and it does not pay to try to blend in or pretend you're something you're not. Just hold firm, be yourself, be exactly who God has called you to be, and man, and you know, you'll be far more useful than trying to, you know, kind of blend in or trying to separate completely and not be involved in culture at all. So yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Anomaly. I mean, I really believe that just with what you're doing is trailblazing away, and with your music, I know that your music will provide kind of a roadmap for those that are like, you know, listening to old style religion, to, you know, really like, here's a man who is, you know, remains in his faith, is successful, and is impacting a culture of, I would say everybody. I don't want to limit your ministry.
You can say New York. We coming, you know, we coming to impact New York.
That's right,
So,
and there's definitely something happening here in New York, and we thank you, Lecrae, Anomaly, the tour. When do you start?
It starts the first week of October, and it runs all the way through November. So make sure you just go to Lecrae.com and get all the dates.
Are you coming to New York?
We are coming to New York. Yeah, well, we coming to the area. So we want Jersey included. We want people to. We even want Philly to come drive up. Well, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But you know, if you're around Connecticut, come holler at us. Everybody, you know what I mean.
Awesome.
So. Yeah.
So Anomaly in stores September 9th for the world. Lecrae, I know that this is just the beginning for you of just more incredible things to happen, and I'm proud of you as a brother.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you very
so
much.
This is Jeannie Ortega, Lecrae, with Breathecast. Stay tuned.